Okay, so we're going to try and solve another problem on Code Wars. So, is my friend cheating? A friend of mine takes the sequence of all numbers from 1 to n, where n is always greater than 0. Within that sequence, he chooses two numbers, a and b. He says the product of a and b should be equal to the sum of all numbers in the sequence, excluding a and b. Okay. So like if the sequence is 1, 2, 3, 4, then he's saying that what was the sum of 1, 2, 3, 4? That's like whatever. But cool, that's interesting. Given a number n, could you tell me the numbers he excluded from the sequence? Could you tell me the numbers he... Oh, I see. Well, aren't we just... all we're doing is... They've explained the question in a weird way, but yeah, all we're doing, so we're given a number n, and we need to calculate which numbers we need to take to make the sum of the numbers, to make the product of the numbers equal the sum of everything. So we take a parameter and we return an array of the form. So it's a list of pairs of numbers. Sorry, wrong. So I wasn't really expecting that there would be multiple pairs of numbers for which the product would equal the sum of all the rest. It happens that there are several possible. If it happens that there are several possible AB, the function returns an empty array if no possible numbers are found, which will prove my friend has not told the truth. Cool, this looks fun. So, is it worth trying to get GPT Engineer to solve this? The problem is that the way they've explained the problem is rather convoluted, and I'd probably need to rewrite it. I do think I should be, for every problem, I should be trying out GPT Engineer. Because I mean, technology like this is only going to get better. So yeah, let's see what GPT Engineer can do. So if we make a file prompt, it will then return a list of all number pairs for which their product equals their sum. Does that explain it? Oops. Have I explained it competently? I think I've explained it competently, but cool. Let's see. Cool. Cool. Well, it's definitely understood. It's definitely understood the problem. Just from this, I think it's very possible that GPT Engineer will just implement the entire algorithm successfully. It's using a 4 as well. Well, it will be fascinating to see if this works. It's giving me all these irrelevant examples. Cool. Okay, so let's where did it create the file? Huh? I don't know what file it created because this doesn't contain anything. So what's it done? So Is this just a bug in GPT Engineer? I've seen this happen before where it just didn't it didn't actually do what it had said it had done. Okay, well we can copy and paste it in manually. Let's just say that it's a it's a beta technology. It's not perfect. Cool. So let's test out what it's written. So hang on. So what tests have they given us? So 26. Oops. 15, 21, 21, and 15. Huh. So GPT Engineer has just, in one go, solved the entire problem. It bugged out and didn't save the files, but shocking. And it managed to actually use 4 as well, which I'm not very good at using 4. I need to learn it properly. What does it mean when AIs replace humans? I mean, obviously this application is buggy and primitive, but that will be ironed out. So is it cheating if I submit this to CodeWars? I don't know. I mean, you're allowed to use Google to help you solve the problem, so why would you not be allowed to use an AI? Well, if it is cheating, I'm only cheating myself, aren't I? Let's run the full batch of tests on it anyway. Oh. So yeah, test 10 was too slow. It's not giving me any information on what test it did, though. That's not very helpful, is it? Because if it fails one of the tests, it should tell me what the test was. How else am I supposed to know? Well, I can quickly have a look at it and see if there's anything obvious I can make faster, but it seems the AI is smarter than me anyway, so... anyway, so... Ink. I forget what that function even is. Ink? Huh? Oh yeah, I know why. Oh, that's handy. I didn't know there was an ink function. I would have just done... I would have done a +1 on it. Okay. Yeah, and then it adds them all together. Yeah. That's actually not necessary. It could have just... rather than doing reduce, it could have done apply. So this might make it faster. So if we do range 1 to I meant to time it. Okay, we might have to cancel that. I just need to find something that takes, a measurably long amount of time, but not annoyingly long. Really? Cool. So that took just under 5 seconds. But if we do... Oh, it probably won't let us do this because you're not allowed to give that many arguments to the function, perhaps? No, you're allowed to do it, but it just takes the same amount of time. In fact, it seems to take longer. Okay. I don't know why that takes longer, but fair enough. Alright, so we can't make it faster like that. Or can we? The thing is, we don't know what test it's failing on, but we might be able to... Yeah, this could be done in parallel. This could be done in parallel. But anyway, but we need to figure out where the performance problem actually is. Is the performance problem... yeah. Okay, so to help us find what the performance problem is, so let's add... oops. Well, let's do that just for the moment. So, I forgot to load the buffer. Cool. So if we give it a stupidly enormous number, yeah. So unfortunately, the for loop is the slow part. I'm just trying to think if we can do this in parallel. We have a multi-core processor. I don't know what kind of virtual environment the tests run in. I have no idea. It could be a virtual machine with one core, or it could. But certainly to make it faster on my machine. Ooh. So it's my belief that this could be running parallel. Exactly how is not obvious, but because essentially the for loop is doing two things in one, right? So it's calculating all the permutations, and then it's doing this logic on those permutations. So yeah, if we separate those out, yeah, cool. To be really fair though, well, should we ask GPT Engineer if it can make it faster? So GPT Engineer does like to just wipe. Oops. Oh God. Yeah, stop. Just. This is the most annoying thing about GPT Engineer. Do you see what just happened? So it asked me, do you want to execute this code? The answer obviously is no, because it wants to make a Leninkin project. But I've accidentally done yes, okay, and now it started downloading crap, and it won't let you cancel it. Did the executed code run at all? The answer to that question is not applicable, because I didn't run it. I'll just kill the terminal. Anyway, hang on, what's it just done? Because it's probably, no, it hasn't done anything stupid, has it? Like created loads of files. The problems with GPT Engineer are not the AI. The problems are all related to the like buggy. Anyway, so what we do? What's this called? It's called cheating, right? So cheating. Right. So we make a new prompt. Cool. So this virtual machine, I believe I did give it multiple cores. Yeah, it's got 4 virtual cores. Just from experience, GPT Engineer is very impressionable, so the fact that I've kind of given it a hint that it might make it run in parallel means it almost certainly will. It's very impressionable. Well, gonna have to pause the screen for a minute to the stream for a minute to enter my API key. Okay, done. Oh, don't be stupid. If you forget to put the -i flag, it tries to rewrite it from scratch. I don't know why they don't fix these problems with it. Most powerful AI in the planet with just a buggy user interface on top. Anyway, cool. So avoiding recalculating the sum for each pair. But we already are doing one. Yes, this makes sense, and I actually kind of thought of this. So what it's saying here is, so do you see how our output has 15 and 21, and then it has 21 and 15? It's done duplicate work, right? So yeah, that's what it's saying here, I think. Yeah, and to leverage parallel processing, we can use PMAP instead of 4. Yeah, so let's see if it implements all that stuff and it actually works. I'll kind of be annoyed if it does. What's the point of learning to code when an AI can just do it? And once again, it's failed to actually edit the file. I have no idea why that happens. This bug was happening a couple of weeks ago, right? So I updated to the latest version of GPT Engineer, and it did update. But it still has this same bug where it simply doesn't make any changes to the files. Very odd. Anyway, cool. So what's it actually? Hang on, should we keep the original version, right, rather than just? Cool. So this is our new function. Yeah. So we're using PMAP and. But let's just test it. I'm anxious to test it. Oh, I didn't load the namespace. Stupid. Oh, GPT Engineer might have broken it. So why is it just printing that? Yeah, it's broken. Okay, so GPT Engineer isn't perfect, but it's extremely impressive that it was able to even. So out of interest, why is it broken? So maybe this is what programmers will do in the future. They'll debug what's. Why is it having to check if something's an integer? I can't imagine why it would need to do that. Is it checking if it's an integer as opposed to like nil or something? So what is PMAP? I've never used it. Parallel map, right? So. Right, so we're mapping this function over. So what? So dividing. So Why are we incrementing the number? We're dividing. This seems bugged. What? So let's say our number is 5, right? So oh no, that's right. Yes, we subtract ourselves from the sum. And then we divide it. Oh, clever. So what GPT Engineer has done is written an algorithm to see if it's divisible. So that if the sum of everything is divisible, then the result of the division will be the other number. But sorry, why are we incrementing though? Why are we incrementing? Yeah, I'm not sure we should be incrementing. That doesn't seem right. Why would we why would we be incrementing? I don't think that's right. I don't see why we would increment that. Okay, that part seems wrong, but let's read the rest of it. So when it's an integer and it's equal to or greater than okay, sorry, I don't know what this does in the case where you give it multiple arguments. Right. So if they're in increasing order. Yeah, non-decreasing order, whatever. Yeah. So that's our efficiency optimization number 2 that it mentioned. And if they're not the same. This is competent coding. It just boggles my mind that an AI can just do this. Anyway, so this looks correct to me. So why are we just getting nil, nil, nil? Well, it looks correct to me apart from that part. That part seems like a mistake. But let's give it a smaller amount of data to work with. Right? So right, so it worked. You just spat out loads of nils. Cool. Right, well that's the problem with using PMAP, because that's how maps work. Should we see if I can fix this for once? So essentially, I'm going to have to just Google this. So Clojure has, I think you have to add an extra library, and you get all these. I remember something. Something, I don't know, something called Folder I was reading about. Reduces a collection using a potentially parallel reduce combined strategy. Just GPT Engineer has had enough fun and taken enough glory. Let's see if I can fix its algorithm using Fold. Actually, we haven't tested that the new solution is faster than the old one, have we? So let's so what big number we can give it that's not so big that it Okay, well we can't see because the output has been dwarfed by all of this. Well, hang on, I don't need to use the time function. I can time it with my brain, can't I? Although, so can we just? So that should shadow. Oops. So I counted 12 seconds, I think. Yeah, so this is definitely radically faster. I mean, it's made multiple performance enhancements in one go, so it's difficult to isolate. But the fact of running it in parallel will be the biggest, because I think that the parallel, the performance enhancement it mentions second would only make it twice as fast, whereas, or almost twice as fast. Whereas running it in parallel will make it multitudes faster. Right, anyway, so we're going to fix this, right? So fold, yeah, so basically fold, if I remember correctly, so you give it two functions, so you give it a reducing function, which is basically the function GPT Engineer already wrote for us, and a combining function, which just combines the results together. Combining our results together is trivial, though. We're just concatenating. Yeah, so the combining function is optional. Well, so when it says default reduce f, what's reduce f? Whatever. Let's just so hang on. So fold combine function. So is fold actually a version of reduce? Because a reducing function takes two arguments, not one. Is it not the right? We'll have to just read this and understand the examples. So diddly does. That's a silly example. Oh, I get it, what it meant about combine f or reduce f. Right. Yeah, our reducing function does require two arguments. So is there a different function? Do we need? So sorry, so the map that we're looking at here, is this distinct from the is this distinct from normal map? Applies f to every variable in the collection foldable. So let's just search for map. We need parallel versions of map, that's what we're looking for. It is. So there's a map in closure.core, and there's a map in well, there's closure.core/map and there's closure.core/reducers select map slash map. No, it is different. It's a different thing. Foldable. Okay. Well, okay. That's not very helpful, is it? I need some explanation other than just being like, yeah, it's foldable. Okay. We just need like fold, but just not for multiple. I mean, we can use fold. We can. It's just not quite the right fit. Well, we can do this. It's just it's not the right fit. I mean, it's. Okay, well, this is going to get tiring. Can we just use this? So what's M? The seed value obtained by cooling. All right. Yeah, we can make this work. Let's just get something that works. Cool. So we need to import closure.core/reducers. Why do web browsers do this? Right, cool. So it'll be r/fraud now. Let's just check that. So we can't see docs for it, interestingly. Oh, because we didn't actually import it, right? So, right, cool. So we can see the docs. Good. Cool. So we've got fold. So yeah, just because I don't trust myself not to screw it up, so let's just. Anyway, so is there really not a you just think there would be a sorry, a function that's Let me just quickly check again. So if we search for so nobody's put any examples. Right. No one's put any examples. Okay. Well, maybe, oh yeah, I'm being silly, am I? Yeah, the reason we need to use reduce. Yeah. Yeah, I was being a silly. We actually do need reduce, and so fold is what we need here. Okay. All right. I know what I'm doing. Cool. So firstly, this whole inline function that we've got here, we're splitting this out, right? Because in fact, let's just because it doesn't help when everything's all combined together, so it's hard to read. Cool. So wait, what? No, where's Samuel coming from? Samuel's coming from here. Yeah. Func for reducing function. So sorry, so what are we calling this? Terrible name, but I just can't be bothered right now. So let's just so what we're doing here is we're defining a closure over this is how we do it. I'm not having another IQ moment, am I? No, that's right. So we just do right. So what we've done is we've created a new function which basically preloads this function with some which means this can just be which can just be that. Cool. So yeah, so instead of this being a when, it needs to be an if. So if, yeah, we're taking then we return I can never remember the right. How do we simply add? So we've got a list of lists, and we've got a list. That's right. Cool. So we just do conj. Otherwise, we just return B. Cool. Cool. So then instead of pmap, Let's move this down so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, cool. So what? All right, yeah. So I need to rewrite this bit. So r/fold n. So I forget what n is. What's n? N is optional, and what is it? Is n the groups that we divide into? Well, let's ignore n because I don't know what it is, right? So combining function, reducing function, collection. So we just need a combining function. Can we so it'll try to use the reducer as the combining function, but I don't think we can. How does that work? But anyway, can't we just use concat as our can we? No, that might not be right. No, it is right, because what we'll have, we'll have two lists of lists, right? Let's just make sure that they're different. So yeah, that's what we want. So yeah, our combining function is just cool. So let's see if I have correctly refactored this. So evaluate that. Oh, unable to resolve symbol n in this context. Okay, but that's fine. We can just preload that as well. So cool. So let's test our new remove NB function. Oh, execution error. Don't we just love errors? So wrong number of arguments 2 passed to our func. Oh, it was a legitimate mistake. So it was very quick, but I don't think it gave us the right result, did it? What is the right result? So if we, okay, so let's, so if we evaluate the original version, because that one is the only one we actually know it works, although it'll probably take ages. Right, so that there are none. Yeah, this doesn't surprise me. You wouldn't necessarily expect that there would be. So we're using the original function, the one that passed all the tests except for the one that for which the performance was inadequate. So the problem is they haven't given us enough examples, you know? What examples to do? So look, we need to work with smaller numbers, right? So let's just work down. We need to find one that actually I'm assuming that these results are right because this is the original function, isn't it? The one that passed most of the tests. Okay, so that's a good example, right? Although the time it took it would be ideal if it took a bit longer just because it's such a small, what is it, 50 milliseconds? Yep, 50 milliseconds is not nothing. Cool, right, so, cool. So let's test my algorithm. Well, it's not really different. Well, it takes massively longer. But the problem is you only get the benefits of doing stuff in parallel for bigger numbers. But hang on, are the results correct though? So yeah, my version, so this is correct, it is working. So we just need to find a bigger example. But the problem is it's not easy to do that because, so hang on, can we, the thing is if I have to brute force, oh hold on, there is something we can do. Wait, that still takes too short of a time. We need something that's taking in the region of, I don't know, a quarter of a second, not like 6 milliseconds. Oops. Wait, why is this so fast? Oh, so, okay, so this is quite fast, but hang on, so let's compare it to the original function. So my function is working and it's faster. So the original function with whatever this is, 100,001, is taking ages. Does the time function not work? Because why is it already... Right, so this is working, right? Because the original function takes forever. The timer doesn't seem to have worked. But I mean, I'm guessing the reason the timer hasn't worked is because it's parallel, so it's firing off all these worker threads that the timer can't track. So that 0.5 milliseconds is just how long it took for it to for the process to fork or whatever. But yeah, this is taking forever, right? So I've solved it, right? So if it'll just let me cancel. Cool. So let's just confirm again. So when we do it using our function, for which I can only take half the credit because GPT Engineer wrote it in the first place. I just fixed it. Cool, so let's see well, we can actually paste. So let's just run the normal tests first. Oh yes, we haven't imported the reducer. Copy. Cool. Is it because the output is in the wrong order? If the output needs to be in a particular order, then this isn't going to work because it's in parallel, right? So the order is. What am I looking at? It's in parallel, right? So the order is. Yeah, well, we're not going to pass these tests then. Oh, it tells us. So it was expecting 15, 21, 21, 15, but it got. Yeah, just got them in the wrong order. Yeah, we can't fix that because if it's running in parallel, the order will be messed up. That's just a trade-off of parallel processing. We could probably make something that would pass this because the original algorithm we made 2 optimizations to it. Only one of them requires it to run in parallel. But no, I mean I don't really care whether I submit it to CodeWars. The point is, yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, we've essentially solved the problem, and it was fun. Yes, it does. So this is just an example of how effective AI can be when it actually works at writing code. One moment, please. Yeah, so we're finished, aren't we? So yeah, I guess the lesson is, so I mean, what I'm thinking from my experiments with using AI to write code. So to begin with, humans were using machines to outsource. We outsourced physical work to machines, right? And then once we invented computers, we could outsource, logic to machines. We could outsource the grunt work of shoveling data around. But now it seems we can. I mean, if we can outsource the actual fact of programming the computer to a computer, then well, we're kind of outsourcing IQ, really. I mean, we're outsourcing intelligence. Because I don't need to have enough IQ points. I mean, okay, so I did need to actually fix what GPT Engineer had done, but I mean, GPT Engineer is clearly has a much better grasp of this stuff than probably 95%. Well, it's. I mean, if you were to judge the IQ of what it of GPT Engineer, you'd probably think it was like 130 IQ. So yeah, I wonder if in the future we'll be outsourcing intelligence to computers. So if you're stupid, you can just get a computer to be smart for you. Anyway, that's the video. Goodbye then.